Text him. Messages. Oh man, I haven't bothered Brian in a while. Maybe he's doing raid stuff.
Mike could. We could always do it tomorrow too. It's fine. It's not a big deal.
Yeah, let me just text him. Hey, I generally consider you a thoughtful person.
Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts on AI pornography?
Well, I just think AI is terrible in general, and it just serves to dehumanize or desensitize us towards the humanity of others in the first place. So I'm against pretty much all uses of AI except for, like, I mean, it's a useful tool in the hands of a professional like a doctor, that sort of thing. So I'm not 100% against it, but by and large, the way people want to use it, no, I hate it.
Because I feel like AI pornography is a large part, not entirely, but a large part, dehumanizing anyway. I don't know. I feel like the idea is something that like our generation will embrace, but like it makes me scared for like adolescents who would grow up with like the idea that if human to human interaction is too difficult, I will fall back on my AI girlfriend. And it's not real, but it's good enough. And like as a tool to further separate, because like everybody underestimates the role of pornography in human interaction and sexuality and all that kind of stuff, and I feel like it's gonna get so much worse. Like I'm not worried about like the porn industry, I'm worried about what it does to human beings.
No, that's why, as I said, I just don't like AI in general. I think it's always like there's dehumanizing, and then there's like desensitizing to other people's humanity.
Hey, Brian.
What about in video games? It's kind of necessary.
Oh yeah, well you know what I mean. I'm not talking.
I know. I'm being a smartass. I know.
No, I know. Well, that's actually a good example too, because that's a real good use for it. Like right now, the main problem of a lot of the games that I play is that a human is just better at long-term strategic, you know what I mean, like at exploiting rules and things like that and whatever than any AI. Like, because the AI is designed to play by the rules. Whereas, so like a good example is like in Victoria 3, like the AI will just set up simple trade routes to fill out its gaps, whereas like a human being will build up industries in weird ways to force the AI to. Sorry, what I'm trying to say is since AI in video games as we have it now is pretty like figure outable, it's easy to exploit them and make them behave in the ways that you want. You know what I mean? Like, it's easy for me to avoid going to war with Britain, even though by just being friends with them and sending them a whole bunch of wood every month. Because if they go to war with me, then their entire economy collapses and they lose an ally. You know what I mean? So, like the AI wouldn't think of that. So yeah, like that version of generative AI or whatever is going to make video games better. You're right. Yeah, that's how you think. But like by and large, I'm just like use it as a tool for stuff. I don't like that people are using it as to substitute for actual human interaction. And it's bad enough that it's bad that people are using their phones and social media as a substitute for human interaction. That's why I try not to buy things online if I can avoid it. Like, yeah, I'd much rather go down to the Warhammer store in Los Gatos, talk to Mark for a couple of minutes, and pick up a couple of things, than save like $5 on a $100 order online. $5 is worth human. Like like people always complain. Like when Suncoast was closing, everyone's like, "Oh man, I loved you guys. Why are you guys closing? That sucks." Like, well, because you came here and you just talked to us, and then you went across the street to save $2 on the movie. because talking to us wasn't worth $2 to you.
Yeah, or they'll come in, they take pictures of the movies they want, and then they go home and order on Amazon.
Yeah, well, this was like 2004, 2005,
eBay,
but
maybe?
still.
And
But it's
Craigslist.
Suncoast
Yeah.
was very expensive.
well, whatever. I mean, like, ever since I remembered that Rasputin Music is just down the street, I've been
Hell
going there
yeah.
every now and again and just
Is it
buying
still
a whole
open?
bunch of. Yeah, it's still open and it's
Nice.
thriving.
Streetlight
Like, I went-
is also just down the road from there. It's probably not as close for you. Streetlight's awesome though. Rasputin's owner is an asshole. So
Oh, I don't care. He can be a super asshole so long as I can go buy a whole bunch of Blu-ray DVDs for like $3 to $4 a piece.
yeah, just go try Streetlight too.
Oh,
Yeah,
Streetlight,
Streetlight's awesome.
yeah, Streetlight's fine, but it doesn't have the same like
Yeah, it's half the size.
yeah, it's half the size, and it doesn't have the same like like movie selection and everything. Like, yeah, like they have DVDs there for $1. I mean, they still have VHS that you can buy for like 50 cents. Not that I have a VCR, so I'm not gonna. But like, I mean, that's the point. Is like, yeah, people. I think people are gonna start to value physical things, especially now that like streaming platforms are just like, oh, this doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
You
It
liked
is-
it? Well, we like the fucking whatchamacallit better. We like the tax write-off of getting rid of it better.
And I mean, the value proposition is changing too, right? Like, for us, you know, we've watched all of these shows and seen all these movies as we grew up, right? But for the generation coming up now, who's coming into streaming, like the value proposition of streaming sucks, because like it's what, $8 at the cheapest per service, more like 15 if you don't want ads for each of them. But like, imagine you're 20 or even like 18 right now, right? Like, how many decades of shows and movies have you not seen that you could just go to Goodwill or Rasputin or some like internet vendor, like a used, I know there's used websites for that kind of stuff, and just pick them up for $1 a disc. Like, instead of paying Netflix $15 to watch, you know, Friends this month, like spend $15 and actually own it.
Own it forever, and they can't take it away from you.
Yeah, and there's something about that we all gave up along the way, and I'm like,
No, I didn't.
yeah, you kept a lot of yours. I moved.
I've got a lot of DVDs.
I've moved way too much. I had to get rid of tons of stuff. I have kept
mean-
my Survivor Heroes versus Villains DVDs though.
I made sure to keep mine through all the moves. I really regret maybe 10, 12 years ago now, I needed money real fast, and so I went to the Game Castle flea market and sold a bunch of my DVDs, and like, to the point where I don't even, like, I only remember a couple of the ones that I sold, and so what I'll do every now and again is like, oh, I should watch this movie, then I go to my collection and it's not there anymore. I'm like, oh yeah, it must have been gone. I must have sold it. So now I got to find like another copy of Six String Samurai, another copy of Relic Hunters. I think I got my Love Actually, right? Let me check. Yeah, all right, cool. I got Love Actually again, so that's good. A
You know,
couple
the
of
real
other
problem
things.
with moving
what?
all your DVDs. So when you have a bunch of them at once, they're fucking heavy.
Yeah,
That
No,
box gets really heavy really fast. Same
No,
thing when
no.
you move a bunch of books.
yeah. Well, that's why, like I said, I learned. I mean, well, I worked at Suncoast for a long time, so I know just how heavy a box of DVDs can be. So what I've learned is use a bunch of smaller boxes, and yeah, it. I mean, it doesn't even take up that much more space if you're using two 20 by 14 by 14s instead of one 22 by 22 by 22. It takes up about as much, a little bit. It's not quite the same, but each box is half the weight, and so it's just like, all right, I'll just take 2 trips instead of 1. Because no, I mean, you're right. It gets real heavy real fast. They're dense suckers, but yeah.
Thrift Books is the website I was thinking of. You can tell what they started out selling, but now they do DVDs and vinyl and Blu-ray, and I think they're going to get into games soon.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have some games, PS5, PS4. So you can go on there. It's more expensive than going to like Rasputin or a thrift store or whatever, but like you can find the exact copy of what you want, and you know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, that's why,
I like the idea of thrifting and buying used just from a like not triggering production of another copy of the Hunger Games kind of a thing. Like, there's enough copies of the Hunger Games and Harry Potter in the world. We're fine. We don't need any more. Give me a used copy.
Yeah. Well, like, 'cause, you know, the other thing that I buy is 40K, and this is related. Like, with the tariffs going up, I was explaining to someone online how, like, it's not just going to be like a 10% increase in the price. It's going to be more than that because they've got to import stuff to make the things. And then someone was like, "Oh, well, how much does it cost to?" They charge you $40 for a single model, like in a box. I mean, you know, if you it's like $62 for 10 models, so like, you know, whatever. But I mean, they charge you like $40 for a character. That's purely gouging. How much did that cost? Like $1, maybe $2. And it's just like people have no idea how anything works anymore. Because like, yeah, it's like $1 or $2 worth of plastic, but you can't just buy like $1 or $2 worth of plastic. Number one, like they have to import tons of it, and that's expensive. And then you have to keep it heated so that it can go into the injection molders. So you need all the energy, which is being the price of that is way higher right now due to a terrible war going on. You need to pay the people who work there, and that's the thing that frustrates me the most. Is like Games Workshop is a company in the United Kingdom. They do all of their production in the United Kingdom. Almost all of their like core industry is there in the United Kingdom, and they pay everybody a living wage and give them good benefits. And people are complaining about the price of it, like, "Oh, it shouldn't cost anywhere near as much." It's like, well, like, what do you expect? They're doing the things that we say we want companies to do, right? Like, they're paying people enough that they don't need to get a second job. They don't have to worry about their health insurance or anything. Well, they don't have to worry about health insurance because they live in England, where they have that for free. But I mean, they have all those other benefits that we say we want our corporations to do, and people are like, "Well, I'm not going to pay that. I'm not going to pay $40 for one thing. I'm going to 3D print it for free." And it's like, all right, well then, fuck you, right? Like, I mean, you know what I mean? It's like that's the thing. Is like, because right now what we have in the U.S. is people who are like think about when Dave Thomas owned Wendy's. He was the face of Wendy's. You know what I mean? Like, he founded it. It was his company. If they found a thumb in the chili, which was a hoax, it didn't actually happen. But if they found a thumb in the chili, it looked bad on Dave Thomas.
There was a thumb in the chili, though.
Yeah, it was
her own.
No, it was faked. They were trying to like sue Wendy's, so they put the thumb in there, and it was
they put their own thumb in.
Yeah, exactly. And so but I mean, like, this thing is like, if a Wendy's burger was bad, like if it tasted bad, that reflected poorly on Dave Thomas. And Dave Thomas ate at Wendy's. You know what I mean? Like, he had to because he made the food, or like he designed it and all that kind of stuff. So then he died, and the people who took over are finance tech assholes who, like, literally at one point were saying, "What if we added surge pricing to the menu?" The price of the burgers at Wendy's has gone up, but the quality has gone way down. And that's because they realized we've got as many people eating here as we're ever going to get. We're not going to get new people eating here. So what we need to do is to raise profits is to cut costs. And so they just cut everything. Like, you order at a kiosk now because that way they don't need to have 3 people behind, or like have anyone really behind the counter. And so they just keep cutting costs and making it worse and worse, and the food gets worse and worse because
That's why my spicy chicken nuggets aren't spectacular anymore.
Yeah, pretty much, because the people who run the company don't eat there. I mean, think about it. Like, do you know the name of the CEO of Wendy's? I don't. I could look it up online, but like, it's not Dave Thomas. You know what I mean? It's not Ray Kroc, the not real founder, but the guy who ran McDonald's when it became big and all that kind of stuff. It's not these individual people. It's nameless, faceless boards of investors who are just there to rip the money out of it, because they don't eat there and they don't respect the people who do. They just see this as a way of getting a bunch of money, and the way that we do that is by profit growth, and the only way we can grow profits at this point is by cutting costs. And so they're doing all those horrible things, and people are like, all right, well, I guess I'm going to go to McDonald's. And then the minute you're asked to actually pay what something is worth, they're like, oh, fuck that. Yeah.
And that's what AI porn is doing to the world.
No, well, that's fine. None of this is going to get in the episode, so don't worry about it.
McDonald's isn't even any cheaper anymore. So
no, yeah, like
No.
that's why I love. That's why I love In-N-Out. In-N-Out is a little under $10.
You're
I
gonna
don't
trigger
remember
Brian.
exactly. It's $10.
I don't care how cheap it is. I hate the food.
That's fine. I don't give a shit because it's an objectively better burger than McDonald's. That's healthier for you and uses fresh ingredients and can be made custom. That costs less, and you go to an In-N-Out sometime. There's like 14, 15 people behind the counter, ready to take your order, cook all the food, make everything, and call out, Flying Dutchman, bullshit, whatever. Call out all that stuff. You go to McDonald's. The McDonald's by my place, you order at the kiosk. It doesn't work because it's been 6, 7, 8 months or so, and they still haven't repaired any of those kiosks there. They don't accept card anymore. So you place your order, you push the button to say, I'll pay at the counter. You go to the counter, you wait about 5 minutes for someone to notice that you exist. Then they come over to you and you say, yeah, it's not working. And then they look at how many orders are on there and go, is it this one? No. Is it this one? No. Eventually you say, yeah, that's what I ordered. Thanks, man. And then they make it for you and you pay for it with your card there. They treat you like you don't even exist. Like, and it's not the fault of the people working there. Like, there's only enough people to work there to make the barest minimum of stuff. So, whereas, and the thing is, In-N-Out is wildly profitable. It's just that they realize there is enough. Like, say what you want about them and their deep Christian values and other stuff like that. Like, I'm sure they're real pieces of shit. But I would much rather the piece of shit who's at least going to be like, I'm going to pay 14 people a living wage, because they were paid $20 before $20 was the norm around here, so that when it became the norm, they raised their prices one shiny nickel. They were able to pay those people all that money, and they still turn a profit, because their owner is like, yeah, I got enough money off of this. Their owner is also batshit insane. They're opening up in Nashville because she received a vision from God that she was going to open In-N-Outs in Nashville. And so she made it her duty to figure out how to source the beef so that it will be up to their standards there. But hey, fucking McDonald's ain't going to do that. McDonald's will spread wherever the hell they want. Or what's the one that used to be really great? Steak and Shake? Is that? I always get Steak and Shake and Shake Shack mixed up. Whichever one is owned by that guy, horrible piece of shit, Big Laurie. Like, it used to be this relatively small thing you could only get in New York, and then he bought it out and just like, I'm gonna spread it across the country, and he did, and it collapsed and was terrible, and it's now a shadow of its former self. But whatever.
So if you're worried about In-N-Out being a piece of shit, in 2024 they donated a total of $23,000, and the company did not, but people who work for the company at high levels or own parts of the company donated a total of $24,000 last year, and it's about 50-50. They donated to Donald Trump and they donated to Kamala Harris.
Oh yeah, well, here's the thing.
Compared to Chick-fil-A of the world,
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Like Chick-fil-A, that's the thing. People and here's the other thing is that I think it's a very West Coast thing that we boycott Chick-fil-A, mainly because we don't have it. Well, not until recently we didn't have it, but in the South, basically, gay people eat there all the time. They call it hate chicken, and they're like, "Yeah, I'm going to eat the hate chicken, whatever." But also, I'm like, I don't care. I've had it before. I don't see the big fucking deal. It's mediocre at best.
We live in an area with really good food. There's a tons of the country that has shit food, and San Jose gets a lot of flack for a lot of things, but San Jose low-key has a really good food scene.
Man, I've never had Chick-fil-A, but by the time I was able to, the stuff came out, and I'm like, well, I'm not going to now. Fuck you guys.
Yeah. No, that's here's what I'm gonna suggest to you.
I'll go to fucking Popeyes. It'll be fine.
Yeah, it's gonna be like go to Chick-fil-A once, knowing that like like whatever. End of the day, it doesn't matter. You're $10, whatever. You know what I
Right?
mean?
Yeah.
Life is hard. Life is hard. Eat whatever makes you feel good right now. There's no ethical consumption under capitalism. All owners and billionaires are terrible, awful people and terrible pieces of shit. And they're they're terrible pieces of shit because if they weren't, they wouldn't be a billionaire. They would be a several times millionaire. You know what I mean? Like if you have $10 billion, you could just stop earning money entirely, and then all that money that you would have gotten, just give it back to your employees, and you're fine. You're good. You're ace. But you're gonna keep getting that money. You know what I mean? Whereas, like, if you're the kind of person who would do something like that, when you got about $100 million, you're gonna be like, all right, I'll do it now. And that's why I say there's no such thing as a good billionaire. But anyway, like, go get it, eat it, taste it, be kind of like, this is what the big deal's about. Yeah, I'd rather just go to Popeyes. Better.
Raising Cane's has donated exclusively to Democratic candidates. So if you want to put your money where your mouth is, go to Raising Cane.
I mean, I like Raising Canes, but nobody calls it that, by the way. Canes, man.
We don't have that here, so it doesn't matter.
No, we do now.
We do now? Okay.
Oh, is there one there? Well, they're pretty good, but it's chicken strips and
it's
chicken.
fine.
It's literally the only choice.
I mean, I like at the end of the day, like you too, like Brian, you live in a big enough city, like just go to a local place, and they might be assholes, but like they're not going to make enough money to make a difference in the political scene of the country. So, who gives a fuck? Just find a place with good food nearby and keep it in your community.
Yeah.
There's no community places near me. It's all all big names.
Yeah.
I love more than anything else is when you go to like a no-name greasy spoon diner. Like that's what I love about LA. Like you go there and there's still a bunch of places that are just called like Rick's or like Moonlight Cafe or whatever. Or like Moonlight Cafe, Moonlight Diner or whatever. And you go in there and they give you a cheesecake menu sized menu, and it's got like a dozen dishes in there, and you're like, who would ever get like penne arrabbiata at like this place or whatever? And then you get it and it's like, yeah, it's pretty good. Whereas like if you go to any restaurant around here in San Jose, they're gonna have a one-page menu. Half of it is gonna be like one page, and it's gonna be like double spaced, size 14 font, like they're trying to cheat on their essay or whatever. And there's gonna be like 10 things on it, and that's it. And it's all gonna be like I don't know, like spaghetti with meatballs and cheese, spaghetti with no cheese or whatever. You know what I mean? It's like 10 things, but really it's about 3 things with some variation on it. I don't like that. I don't like the idea of the restaurants like, we do 4 things, we do it very well. It's like, I would much rather go to a place where like, you know what, I feel like some fried chicken tonight, and then you go back a week later, it's like, what if I just get like a bowl of soup? And it's like, yeah, we'll make it for you right now. I love that kind of thing.
Okay, there's one local restaurant there's plenty, but there's one that I know of, and I hate them, and it's not their fault though. It's the fart. It's the fault of some stupid article I read, because I am a slut for biscuits and gravy. And the article I was reading is like, these are the places with the best biscuits and gravy in the valley, and it mentioned Chase Diner, and I went in there and I was like, this is really bland, you fucking assholes. I'm so mad right now. So then I never went back.
It's because you live around a bunch.
Place is great, but
it's because you're surrounded by white people, Brian.
Yeah, pretty much. Like
that's because I was spoiled by Just Breakfast in Morgan Hill. The biscuits and gravy were fucking spectacular.
And like, hole in the wall place in a suburb, like, yeah.
Yeah, well, like Bill's Cafe. Like Bill's Cafe is like, anytime I go to brunch, I go to Bill's because it's just good food. And like, I keep hearing people like, oh no, Bill's sucks, it's terrible, and then you should go to Hash House. I can go to Hash House and it's just like, yeah, it looks great on Instagram, but it tastes like meh at best. Whereas like Bill's is great food, good price, and they will just give you coffee. I don't drink coffee, but I just like the fact that they'll do that.
I like Hash House, but also I like not waiting 30 minutes for a seat.
Yeah. I go to
don't ever go to a restaurant in the LA area then.
Yeah.
No, honestly, I go to LA. I haven't been to LA in about a year. I want to go back, but also now I'm making less money than before, so that's not going to happen. But I go to LA and like I just like the great thing about it is you walk to a place and if that restaurant has a long wait, you just walk to another one, and if that has a long wait, you just walk to another one. I have always like had no problem just going into a place. Like even
I haven't
downtown.
seen a single place there that didn't have like at least an hour wait to eat
I haven't ever
at any
walked
time.
in. I haven't ever walked in LA. That sounds like.
Man, there's a place like it's just a fucking pancake place, and they weren't even that great. It was like fucking 2 hours to get through the line. It was so ridiculous. Like, oh,
The longest wait I've had for food was, ironically enough, was in Baltimore, and you don't really think of that. Like, and it was fine. It was actually, it was,
oh,
but like,
Baltimore's pretty crowded too.
oh well, it was because it was Miss Shirley's, which is a great place. Don't get me wrong, but that's another one of those places that I like Miss Shirley's because it was good food and it was Instagram food, but like it actually tasted good. Is the thing, because most of the time, like they spend more time making it look nice on a tiny little plate than actually making it good and good portions. But like everywhere else I went there, I just walked right in. Like this place called like Earl's. I think it was called Earl's. I just went in there because it said they had scrapple on the menu, and like I ended up having the best Brussels sprouts that I've had in my entire life because it was like they did this like soy garlic sesame seed topping on it that, oh my god, it was just so friggin' good, and the scrapple was nice too, so whatever. But like I waited like 45 minutes for as a solo diner at Miss Shirley's. It was worth it, but still. Yeah.
Hey, we should talk about Survivor.
Yeah,
Probably.
I mean, this is the thing. I have a feeling we're not going to have that much to say
Yeah,
about this.
this is a pretty simple episode.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's fine, but it's already 9:15.
Yeah.
Nick's gonna fall off a
Somebody
cliff
read
in 10 more minutes.
I'll say my thing real quick. I think this was a perfect episode to do as a double elimination, and it may not have worked out this way. Like they may have been two very high profile people who got voted out, and then that would have been very calamitous. But the fact that it was two pretty much like, yeah, you guys were also rans at best, getting out. I'm glad they did it back to back like that instead of as 2 episodes in a row. Anyway, somebody read it.
Go, Brian.
Hold on, I'm scrolling.
Oh, hey, wait, sorry. Outwit, Outplay, Outcast, Survivor Podcast, Nightwing News Network. All right, go ahead, Brian.
Mitch is flummoxed from the blind side, and Cedric is paranoid because of the stray vote he got from Say, who is gleeful that he has no idea who it came from. Revenge is a dish best served petty. In the morning, the good vibes are largely over, and everyone starts picking targets and trying to keep themselves higher on the totem pole. Shaheen feels confident that he's in the middle, with Mitch and Cedric feeling on the outside. Immunity leads to a double elimination with 2 randomized groups. Nothing super cool happens in the immunity challenge, except Cedric sucking super hard. Joe wins his group, sending him Say, Chrissy, Eva, Joe, and Mitch to the first tribal council. To the first tribal council?
Yeah,
never
'cause it's
mind.
gonna be
I'm
two.
thinking
Yeah,
stupid. Never mind. Yeah.
No, it's all good. Don't worry about it.
I figured it out. All right.
Yeah.
David wins overall immunity, sending him, Cedric, Mary, Shaheen, Kyle, and Camila, with one of them becoming the first juror. Say sees herself to the bottom, so talks up voting Mitch. People see Mitch as a general threat, but he has a block of vote. No one really likes Say, so that group is more or less a foregone conclusion. And the other group, Mary predicts Say will be gone. The rest of the group chooses Cedric, and proposes Shaheen. Yes, I did that. Proposes Shaheen as their decoy to keep Cedric calm. Camilla and Kyle spread rumors about Shaheen finding an idol, but Cedric is still on the menu, and they're playing a longer game against Shaheen. Both tribals are relatively quick, bloodless affairs. Say is unanimously voted out with the added insult of a completely superfluous vote blocked by Mitch. Shane puts his trust in others that he really is just a decoy, and is rewarded with Cedric being unanimously voted out. It looks like big, beefy, macho muscle alliance is holding strong.
Yeah.
I mean,
Like,
I do want to say the block of vote is not completely superfluous. There was a moment where somebody was like, well, what if she does her shot in the dark? Like, she won't have a vote. It doesn't matter. Like,
yeah.
I know it's a 1 in 6 chance, but like, let's just eliminate that chance entirely. And then,
It was worth it for the you bastards.
Yeah. And then Mitch doesn't have a vote, doesn't have an advantage. So it's not like he gets rid of a reason to vote for him in the process.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I know. And also that, like, cements the fact that she's the one who's going to go home. So
Yeah.
it wasn't entirely superfluous, I guess, but it's one of those things where it's just like, it's a unanimous vote, and it's like, son of a bitch. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, all right. So yeah, I guess. And also, I should say, like, when I was writing about the immunity challenge, there was one cool thing. It's just that it doesn't really translate into TV, and that's that they Joe and David both broke the record by, and like, shattered the record. So yeah,
Yeah,
it would have been nice.
that's tough though, because you don't know what the record, like, the previous record holder was Gabler. Gabler maybe could have gone an hour. Who knows? But like, he didn't have to go an hour, right? Because
Yeah.
the other person only lasted 30 some minutes. And like last season, Charlie was doing. Was that last season or 2 seasons ago? 2 seasons ago, I think. Charlie was doing fucking fantastic in this challenge because he's the guy who was like, to prepare for Survivor, I did grip strength, and then lo and behold, it paid the fuck off, right? Like, he maybe could have gone an hour too, but like, he didn't have to. So like, ones like this where they say, "Oh, it's a record." Like, it's kind of weird though that it's a record.
I
like,
get what you're saying.
yeah. David maybe could have gone 4 fucking hours. Like, him and Joe were both sitting there like casually doing it with one hand for the longest time.
Well, I gotta say, I like the one hand strategy because, like, they don't have a problem with muscle, like, right? Like, one hand, assuming they could keep their grip on it, they would be able to hold that thing more or less indefinitely.
Yeah.
But the problem is keeping your grip. So by doing it one-handed, they were able to let their other hand like rest and recuperate, and then they could switch it out and let the other one. So I think that was the secret to why they were able to do it for so long. But yeah, you're right. Like, Gabler may have been able to last longer. He just the challenge ended and he was done.
Honestly, I'm surprised that David did just keep holding on until he hit the hour mark.
I kind of like, that's the thing. That's what I was. You may have heard me stutter a little bit ago, but that's what I was going to say. Is I was a little disappointed that they didn't both make it to the hour, but you know, whatever. They did it much longer than anyone else could have. They did it literally. Let's see. So if they were 58, so they did it 116 times longer than Cedric. Yeah.
So
that's good, man.
I'm wondering if Cedric like looked over and saw that David was doing it with only one arm, and he's like, "Well, I've got no fucking chance," and just let go.
I mean, that's what Kyle did, right? Kyle was like, "You got this," like you, and David's like, "Yeah, all fucking day." And Kyle's like, "Okay, fine, bye." Like, I'm not gonna sit here and tough this out for another 20 minutes and burn those calories and get fucking exhausted when you're gonna fucking own the shit out of it anyway. Like, no, I'm fine. I'm done. I'm gonna go sit.
Like, and if that was Cedric's thought process, I 100% concur, because we all know that one winner very notably did that. Richard Hatch realized he wasn't gonna like win the hand on a pole thing, so he instead decided to drop, but do it in a very dramatic fashion, and say, like, make it like, I'm gonna leave it to you guys to determine. And yeah, it was a great play. And yeah, like so Kyle, realizing, you know what, I'm probably not going to win this. Why waste my precious resources?
Yeah.
It's fine. Yeah.
You know what I loved about that challenge, though? When they were showing him just, like, messing around.
Oh, yeah.
Shaheen singing.
Great. Yeah, no, and they're just, like, fucking teasing each other and shit.
Yeah.
That was great.
The smack talk, which we got a very rare Jeff episode title, which was neat, but also nobody has Jeff yet, so no points. There was that, and then, you know, also the, hey, you think this looks easy? Try signing up Survivor, get off your couch or whatever, like, doing all that. Like, Jeff was there to play. I feel like before the pandemic, when they were getting just whoever they could get and they were trying to cast like villains and things like that, Jeff couldn't have as much fun as he is now. Now that everyone is a super fan and everyone is like, you know, like, they get people who are going to be good on TV. Like, I just feel like it lets us have an extra bit of Jeff out there, and I appreciate that.
I mean, for what Jeff has said for a while that he's this way with the contestants on the show. Like, he's always had this kind of attitude. Not always, but like for a long time. But like, 60 minutes is not enough time to show this kind of stuff, you know?
Yeah.
And like, now that you're 90 minutes, like, on an episode like this, yeah, you got a double tribal, but it's kind of straightforward. Like, show some personality, show some relationship building. Like, that stuff, it's not as important as the strategy conversations, but it matters for the context of the show.
Yeah. And on top of that, so yeah, the councils were very straightforward. They were both unanimous, but having all of that pre-tribal council stuff, or I'm sorry, not even pre-tribal council, pre-immunity challenge stuff, because there was a good 15-20 minutes before they even went out there to start competing. Having all of that, showing people starting to be kind of out for themselves, and can we trust this person? Where do I stand? And all the muscle guys saying, what if we just, hey, it's always the sneaky smarty guys who seem to win. What if we all just stick together and vote the smart people out? Because we're not dumb, right? But also it's like, why don't we just also be big and strong together? It's like, yeah, why not? And I love that, honestly, because like, okay, what's his name? Rodney was dumb, and he was dumb muscle, but Joe is kind of smart muscle. David is kind of like smart but not strategic muscle, but smart enough to realize like what, like, I know how this game is played. I know it's the backstabbers who win. And here's the other great thing, and I'm kind of processing this as I say it. He is, by saying, hey, let's just get rid of all of the backstabbers. Like, he knows that Joe, for instance, is a straight ahead, I want to be a good guy kind of guy. And Eva, she will do the right thing also. She's going to go with them and whatever, that sort of thing. So it's like, he can create a situation where it's just going to be strong people. And then that's essentially going to be, hey, which of us do you guys like more? And he's really nice. So I think that, like, he might be working himself into a real good situation here by getting rid of the smarty pants players, the strategic players, and then leaving behind just people who play the same game as him.
Yeah. The problem is he's including Shaheen and Kyle in his group of muscly people too, which like
Kyle's muscly, and Shaheen is not in bad shape. Shaheen was eating in that. So
I'm not saying they're not buff enough. I'm saying they are not playing the game the way David thinks they are.
Yeah. Well, Kyle is doing, like, Shaheen, everyone kind of knows is a sneaky sneak. Yeah. But he, in fairness, though, he is strategic enough to realize I need to be a little more subtle about it. Unfortunately, he's having his pants beaten off by Kyle, who is definitely playing the sneaky sneak game, and nobody aside from Camilla, who is also with him, sees that. Like, he's getting away with it thus far. Maybe he's gonna tip his hand, but so far he is doing a very good job of being a strong guy, a charismatic guy, and a sneaky sneak.
Yeah, Kyle and Camilla are doing a great job. I like that Kyle is backstabby enough. Like, I think it was Kyle who brought up, like, we should manufacture.
Yeah.
Like, it was Kyle's idea, but he's like, I can't say that because that will compromise my position with David. But, like, because I'm with Camilla, and Camilla's a known Chaos Goblin, Camilla can throw that out there. And I appreciate that Camilla doesn't just say, like, what if Shaheen has an idol? Like, she did it even more subtle than that. She was like, look, we were on this beach together. We all went for water. And he just, like, didn't come back at the same speed as everybody else. And that's, like, a little sus, like, you know. And there's a lot of plausible deniability in that, right? Like, she's... Like, a lot of these people who go out there and try to be, like, the Chaos Goblin-y, like, backstabby, like, they go straight for the throat and this stuff, and they're not subtle enough with it. And I think Camilla is doing a great job of being subtle with it.
Yeah. Like, that's like, her exact line was just, we were out and he didn't arrive. And so, or he didn't come back as fast. So, if Shaheen says, like, what are you talking about? I don't have an idol. Let me show you that I don't have an idol, blah, 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 blah. She can always say, I was just reporting facts.
Yeah, that's fine. I just, you know, and she can say, like, you know, at the time, like, we didn't know each other really well, so I clocked it in my memory, you know, it's fine.
Yeah, it struck me as a little strange is all.
Yeah, it was before our generational trauma conversation. I just, you know, noticed it then.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, I don't want to come off as not liking the episode. I think they did a really good job of giving us stuff to see, knowing that, the council itself is going to be pretty straightforward. And, Shaheen? Like, it was a very good moment when he realized, all right, what they're saying makes sense, and they're telling me to just trust them, and I'm going to have to do it. And then sure enough, he gets the one vote, and he looks panicked. And then it's Cedric. And, all right, cool. All right, my faith in them paid off. They have done what they said they would do each time. I feel like I'm in a good situation. Now, next tribal council, who the hell knows what's going to happen.
Yeah, he's not in a good situation, though. Like, early in the episode, Shaheen's like, I'm feeling in control because I've had conversations with Say and Cedric and Mitch. Okay,
Oh yeah, now Cedric's gone.
yeah,
And Say's,
two of
yeah.
those people are gone, and Mitch was almost the one who was gone.
Yeah.
And like, and he went from the feeling in control by having all these conversations with these players, and at the end, he was like, I got to put all of my faith in this milk flooded Hulk. Right, and
Well-
like Shaheen felt in control earlier, and at the end he was admitting he did not have control of the situation, and he had to put his
Yeah.
faith in somebody else almost entirely, and that's not where you want to be in Survivor.
In defense of Shaheen, though, when he said that, like, this was a perfectly done double elimination in that it wasn't you're voting the field, it was 6-on-6. You know what I mean? So when he was with Mitch and Say and Cedric, the four of them together, that's almost what you need to get someone voted out, right? You just need two more
Yeah.
votes to tie, and then maybe some shenanigans or whatever. So you're real close with the solid four there. Unfortunately, two of them were on the other tribe or the other group, and so they couldn't really work together. And one of them was on his, and he was being told that guy's going home. And luckily for him, they didn't realize that he was with Cedric or going to use Cedric or anything like that. So he got away with it. But no. I mean, he's not in a good position now, but at the start of the episode, he was. Oh, reversals of fortune, how you turn.
Yeah, it's good storytelling.
Man, you know what? I'm proud of these people because there were 2 easy votes and they actually did both of them.
Yeah, they actually did both of them, and like there was a little bit of a bluff of, ooh, are they going to go for Shaheen? But it's clear that was just an editing flourish. Like, really, Camilla was just, look, we're going to play the long game. We're going to vote Cedric now, obviously, but let's plant some seeds of doubt, and we'll see what happens. And that way, maybe we can break it up a little bit later. And it looks like David has bought it hook, line, and sinker because he's not dumb, but also he is very trusting.
Yeah.
You know what?
Go, Brian.
You know what I like about both of them is that one, Cedric was entirely strategic. Just he has no friends. We won't piss anybody off if we vote him out. And the other one was entirely emotional.
Yeah.
We do not like her.
No,
we want her gone.
I genuinely, the Say one was not emotional, and it kind of frustrated me that this did not get brought up in the episode. It was one fleeting moment where they mentioned it. I'm pretty sure the reason Say is out and Mitch is in is because they did not want Say on the jury. Because
Yeah, exactly. That's why it's emotional. That's what I'm talking. They dislike her so much they don't even want her there.
No. Because Say, I think I've only seen 2 players in this game so far who really have a handle on who Say is, and I think that's Cedric and Shaheen. And I think Shaheen got a feel for Say really quickly. From like that was my sense from their conversation earlier in the episode, and like Mary has a good handle on Say because they operate on a similar level for a lot of things, right? But beyond that, I don't know anybody else who understands how Say is thinking and why she's doing what she's doing. And that makes jury management for her really fucking hard. Like Mitch,
Okay.
you know who Mitch is. It takes a 10-second conversation to understand Mitch. Right?
Yeah.
But yes, all that's true. But it's also very clear they don't like her.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
They've
I'm
all
not
stated
saying
that.
that didn't play a factor. But I'm saying I think like at this point in the game with the people who were in that group, I think enough of them would be like, well, Say's not a threat, right? Like you can keep Say and she's annoying, but who cares? Like she's annoying, but not in the way that's aggressive at somebody the way like Rome was. And she's not annoying in a way that compromises your position the way like Banu was, right? Say's frustrating to be around for some people, but like she's not in a position of power. She threw a random fuck vote to Cedric when literally that could have been the vote that she lost to. Like she only got out of that tribal by 1 vote, right? Like one person swings and her bullshit vote at Cedric is the reason she went home. Right? So like she's clearly not playing on a level of everybody else. She's not a threat. She's not a problem strategically. But like you get her out because of I think the driving impetus is the jury implications, and the annoying stuff is just that's the excuse you say to each other on the beach, right? But like
That's the gravy on top of the
yeah.
mashed potatoes.
Yeah.
Because I recall someone for sure mentioning or like saying jury implications at some point when they were talking about
Yeah, one person said it, and I wish I remembered who it was.
Yeah, it may have been Chrissy. I don't know because Chrissy was thinking, what if we got rid of Mitch? So it was someone else. But yeah,
I don't.
I'm going to give credit to.
I think they just didn't like her.
I think they did. I think
Look,
they don't like her and they don't want to play with her. But I don't think that's the main
Yeah.
reason you vote her out.
I think it should be. I don't know why people think like this person's annoying the fuck out of it. Like, dude, they're gonna be a millimeter from you for 15 more fucking days. You should fucking get rid of them to keep your goddamn sanity.
Actually,
I don't know why they just keep them in there. Like, well, nobody likes them. We can get them out later. That's a terrible fucking idea.
well, in this case, in this specific case, I think by this episode, it no longer was we don't like her so much as she's all right, but we definitely like her the least of all the people who are left. Because, like, if you look at it, there were really only a couple people who were annoyed with her, and they were all gone pretty fast. Whereas, like the people who really were against her were Cedric, who whatever he still liked her, and Mary, with whom they ended up. Well, I should say they ended up respecting each other. And Say thought for sure they were friends, but Mary was like, we're okay. You know what I mean? Like, they made peace. So, yeah.
Chrissy hates her, too. But, nah, I think you guys are delusional.
Speaking of Chrissy, I did really like Chrissy this episode. I think she put herself on the line at Tribal, maybe more than she should have. But I think she laid out...
the way she said it wasn't great.
I mean, well, the trick is...
She was correct, what she said.
I mean, she's not wrong, but also, like, it lays it out for everybody else, too, right? And it puts her in a position, like, she's gone out on a limb to place herself against David and Joe and Eva, right? And that's risky, but, like, she needs to put that out there for the other players, too. Yeah. Like, she needs to be like, look, if we let them do this, like, you might be like... They're the muscle guys. They're not strategic. We can get them out later. We can outsmart them, blah, 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 blah. Like, eventually, they're going to get to the end, and you're not going to beat them. Right?
Yeah. The little Buff Boy Alliance is eventually going to run you down.
Yeah, and it feels silly early in the game, but you're only, like, 3 votes away from it being really fucking serious. And so, like, especially on the double elimination night, you need to put that shit out there. And I think it's risky for her to put herself out on a limb, but it can open her up to conversations she maybe wasn't having before.
Mm-hmm.
I like that every episode Joe does something that reinforces me not liking him. So.
What was it this time?
Okay, this time Chrissy is talking about how, like, okay, yeah, there's some people talking about, like, honesty and loyalty through the whole game. She's like, that's unrealistic. We're playing fucking Survivor. You have to lie to people. And Joe's like, no, some people have not done that, and they've gone to the end. Look, douchebag, you have a fucking alliance of 5 people. Only 3 get to go to the end. You have to fuck somebody over eventually.
Well, you could stab him in the front is the thing instead of stabbing him in the back is what he's saying.
But I will say,
not loyalty, is it?
I will say also it's a little bit duplicitous because go Nick, go.
It's loyalty because you have at that point you have to vote out someone, and so like let's say it's the 3 of us and 2 other people, and the 3 of us we're like we know for a fact we are going to vote together and we're not going to flip, so we don't got to do shit. It's going to be Tim over there. We're going to vote out Tim. So, but Tim's worked with us this entire time. But what we 3 of us can do is just say to Tim, look, thank you for your service, but we're going to vote against you right now. You can try all you want, but we're aligned. So, you know, I'm sorry. And that's it. That's not betraying them.
That's honesty. It is betraying them, because if they knew you were just going to dump them as soon as you got down to 5, they wouldn't have fucking come with you. They would have broken it up earlier.
Yeah, they're still going to feel betrayed.
They're going to feel betrayed, but I mean, that's the thing. It's like
that is a betrayal. Well, if you're like we're 5 strong, but really we're 3 strong, that's a fucking betrayal.
Because everyone knows that if there's 5, there's a 3 and a 2. Everyone knows that is the way that it is, and you do your best to make sure you're on the 3. And if you aren't,
exactly, and if you're not, you think you are. That's the problem.
No, I mean they could
because if you know that you're not, then you would do something about it.
Well, Yeah, but also if the three of us just hang strong, like if the Joe and David and so on alliance works, I think it'll work because they're just like, no, we're just gonna stick together, man. Like I trust you, you trust me. All right, we're gonna be trust buddies, and we're gonna vote together and get this person out. And like, there's really like, if two people just agree this is what we're gonna do, there's not a whole lot you can do about it.
Yeah, but that's two people. There's 5 of them in that alliance. Do you not see my point here?
No,
Somebody's
I mean,
getting fucked.
yeah. Well, Nick is saying at least they're not surprising me with it, right? Like,
Yeah.
but that doesn't mean they're not going to still feel betrayed. Like, I worked with you for the last 4 votes, and now suddenly it's me. Like, I thought I was one of the 3 going to the end. You're saying so long as they know where they weren't one of the 3, it's fine. But like, they're not going to feel that way.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
my
know.
point, though. If they know they're not one of the 3, they would have to turn on them earlier than that. They're not going to screw themselves out of going to the final 3 intentionally.
I do want to say I don't think David and Joe are on the same wavelength either, because David's like, I want, the honorable, upstanding, loyal, honest people. And then early in the episode, Joe's like, maybe we got to get at Mitch because he's a stand-up, honest guy. I think the problem isn't this muscle alliance. The problem is that they all think they're founding the alliance on the same thing, but none of them are understanding it the same way. And there's gonna be philosophical differences that drive them apart, is what I'm predicting.
Yeah. Well, we'll see, because it looks, well, we say it looks like there's friction going on in the preview, but previews don't really mean anything.
Last thing I want to say, Shaheen has like a likable moment every episode, and mine this episode when he says they're the reason I don't take my shirt off on this show.
Yeah.
Like, Shaheen seems like a relatively fit guy, but even he's like, nah, man, not near them.
Yeah.
And I like Jeff like a second, not even like a drop of a hat. Like, hey man, you can't be all things. Like,
Yeah.
hey, you can't be all things, man. It's fine.
Not everybody knows everything. Yeah. No, I don't know how to drive. Not everyone knows everything. Fuck. The one thing I can't remember the details all of a sudden, but Star had another moment where I was just like, yeah, I like you. I like Star. She was talking about, like, these people are thinking about the jury. I'm not thinking about the jury. I'm thinking about who I want to win or something like that. I don't remember.
She's a little intense for me, but I do like what she says.
Yeah. Oh no, she's, and like, honestly, now that she's comfortable and like the game is really going on, she's in her element. She's smiling more. She's having fun. I'm like, I like you, Star. I'm becoming a fan.
Brian, you got anything to say before we move on to fantasy?
Fuck Joe.
Okay.
Nick will do that. Fantasy, we did not have any bets resolved this week, but there are a couple bets that we're out of. We had our not here to make friends Deadpool. Brian, you had Cedric. Sorry, you're out of that one. Nick and I are still in it with David and Star. And I'm officially out. We knew it wasn't going to happen after the episode, but I'm officially out of the Drop Your Bus bet. I said episode 7. I thought they would hold on an extra episode this season, but they did not. It was 6. If you want to see all of our editor bets, you can go to Oooshow.com. On the left, you click on the link that says fantasy, and we'll show you all of our bets and our scoring. Speaking of scoring, tragedy did occur this episode. I finally lost a player, but we'll get there. Brian, you came in the weekend last with 29 points. You had Chrissy, Eva, and Shaheen. Chrissy and Eva got only 1 point each for you because all they did was survive, but Shaheen got you 3 because he ate the reward and survived to vote his way. So that is 5 onto your 29, giving you 34. Nick, you came in the week in second place with 38 points. You had Camilla, Mary, and David. All 3 of them survived and ate, so that's 2 each from Camilla and Mary. And David got 2 more because he won that immunity challenge. So that is 8 onto your 38, giving you 46.
And
I came in
finally have more than 50% of the votes between the two of us.
I came in the weekend in first place with Mitch, Kyle, and Say. Say finally died off. Well, died off. No, she didn't die off. She finally got eliminated. So that is 0 points from Say.
They
only
wrote her out of the show.
Yeah, only 2 from Kyle because he survived and 8 reward, and 2 from Mitch because he played at his advantage. Thank you, Mitch. So that is 4 on my 70, giving me 74. And I need to replace Say, and the only choices I have are Star and Joe. And Star has found himself an idol, but I feel like Joe's got a better chance at winning a challenge here and there, even with David around. So I'm going to take Joe over Star, even though I think I like Star better. I'm going to take Joe.
Yeah. I know I have David. Who are my other two people?
You have Camilla, Mary, and David, but Brian is up first.
Oh, I like Camilla and Mary.
Brian, you
Okay.
got Chris, Eva, and Shaheen. Do you want to swap any of them for Star?
No, I don't want Star. But you know what? Good for Mary for being the last Vula. Huh?
Yep.
Yeah, is that good or bad?
I don't know.
It
Well,
don't matter.
she didn't get eliminated. So.
Yeah.
It means she's the most
really
likable of
doesn't
them.
matter. Tribal affiliations aren't relevant.
I don't know.
Yeah, clearly, like none of them are thinking about it like at all.
I mean, it's not relevant, but it is one more thing to start the conversation of like, why not Mary? She's the last Vula. Let's just get her out of here, you know?
Nah.
All right.
Nah.
They did 2 easy votes already. I don't think they're going to do a third one in a row.
Yeah. Plus, nobody at this point is threatened by Mary, and nobody at this point dislikes Mary, has beef with her. Mitch, people are threatened by. Nobody has beef with him though. So I feel like they're going to go by go for the person that they're threatened by and or have beef with first.
So are you dropping Camilla, Mary, or David for Star?
No, I like. So as I said, I like Star, but the only person I could really see dropping is Camilla, but I think that is at best a lateral move, so I'm just going to wait.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
And I was like, maybe I should have picked up somebody I thought was going to get voted out on purpose, to get me the turkey. But I'm like, I wasn't going to pick up Cedric. I thought he was like safe because nobody cared about him. So.
Well, I wonder. That's something we'll have to. I guess it works. I was going to say, so technically speaking, a turkey is 3 strikes in a row. If Say had been voted out before Cedric, technically that's not 3 people being voted out in a row.
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
No, I think it was 3 episodes in a row that you had somebody on your tribe get eliminated on your team. So I would have counted it. It would have been 3 episodes in a row that he had one of his players get eliminated.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. We're not catching up to Andy. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I'm feeling magnanimous right now.
Yeah. Well, hey, look,
But,
he finally has under a 50% share. So if we can just keep it going at this speed, we're okay.
But now that we know how they are, my choice for Not Here to Make Friends, Deadpool. There was, even if he made it to the end, there was no way in hell Cedric was ever saying that.
Yeah. I think David and Star could both say it. I think Nick and I made decent choices.
Yeah,
Cedric could still say it in the final tribal council. He could say, you know what, I wasn't here to make friends, but I made several.
That'd be awesome. I would take that.
No, that would 100%. That would work. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, has anyone got anything else they want to say at all at any time? Speak now or forever hold your peace.
Nah.
Okay. Well, we will see everyone next week, which is Sorry, I'm doing math in my head because I'm going to a wedding soon, and so I'm going to have to miss one episode. So it's not this one. So okay, goodbye. Yeah, it's May 3rd. I'll be up in the Seattle area. So
happy the finale.
Huh?
May 3rd.
Is that the finale?
No, that's in 3 episodes. That wouldn't be the finale.
Yeah,
so May 1st is when you'll be missing.
Yeah. Okay, good. Yeah, I'm not missing. I was thinking I don't think I am. So, all right, we're good then. Perfect.
Cool.
Yeah. All right. Just do that one without me. It's no big deal. One of you write the synopsis. It doesn't really matter. I'm gonna watch it when I get home on Monday, so everything will be fine.
Okie
Yeah, we're totally gonna do that when you're not there.
Totally
gonna happen.
Really not hard to write down. This is what happened before the first commercial break. This is what happened before immunity. This is what happened at immunity. This is what happened in the run up to tribal, and this is what happened in tribal. It's not that.
I don't think the difficulty is the issue.
It still sounds like work, Nicholas.
Yeah.
I mean, just as you're watching it, you guys don't have commercials. That's why. Because
And I'm watching it during work, so I don't know if I can do work and work.
I just use my the commercial time to jot down a couple of sentences, or when it's boring, all right, let me just whatever. Okay. Anyway, all right, I'll see you.